Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your October 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic card spread as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom of the oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have Mercury. So Mercury is still in Virgo at the time of recording this, and on the 26th it'll actually move into Libra, and then it'll eventually move into Scorpio on right around the middle of October. So that means it'll primarily be, in October anyway, it'll primarily be in your 8th house of death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments, and then moving into your 9th house of philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs. And well, speaking of 9th house, yeah, so we just mentioned the 9th house thing, but like we mentioned, our 9th house for you guys is Scorpio, and of course when we get toward the end of October we'll be entering into Scorpio season as well, and Venus will actually be in Scorpio for the first couple weeks of October as well. And we have Capricorn. So for you guys, Capricorn is your 11th house of friendships, hopes and wishes, and groups. And we have Pluto there currently in the 29th degree. It's retrograde, and it'll start direct motion on the 11th of October. So we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. All right, in the main situation position, we have the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy, and challenging that we have the Empress. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that, especially financially, but it could just be in general, there could be an opportunity that's coming your way, but the challenge is that maybe you're just being a little bit too passive as far as, it looks like, yes, the opportunity is coming your way, but ultimately you might need to be a little more proactive to really get it off the ground. So it could just be saying that, if you were to stay in this more passive role, which is what the Empress would do in a situation, it won't necessarily prevent this from coming your way, but it just might take longer for it to get there. All right, in foundation position, we have the Lovers. So this is the major arcana card for Gemini, and this could just be saying primarily that, this is an opportunity that's being brought your way, and it could just be saying that this has been worked out behind the scenes. Gemini energy, of course, we do have Jupiter in Gemini, and it's actually going to start retrograde around the 10th or so of October too. So yeah, could just be saying that maybe if there was an opportunity that you had been looking for, maybe it was missed the first time around, now you might see it from a different angle as the retrograde progresses. All right, in the past position, we have the Star. So yeah, for some of you, it could just be saying that you might have gone through a bit of a rough stretch recently, but ultimately it really was a course correction for you. You were able to learn some lessons from the situation and get yourselves back on the right track. Maybe for some of you, this happened around the time when we had the Aquarius full moon during Leo season. So that could be a timeline. All right, and in the present position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, so to me this says that for a lot of you, you are actually starting to do the work, right? So maybe you came to the realization that, yeah, maybe I have just been, being too passive in life, and then maybe with that there have been some situations that maybe didn't go the way you'd hoped, right? So now maybe because of that you're saying, all right, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to play a more proactive role in how things turn out, and looks like that's what you've been focused on throughout Virgo season. All right, and in your future position, we have the 10 of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here. And for you guys, that is your 10th house of career and social status. So for some of you, this can be a career-related thing. But regardless of whether that's the case or not, this could just be saying that, it looks like you are really moving toward your goal. But I would say the only thing to watch out for is just not overdo it, right? So, and sometimes that's what happens when we can have a tendency to over adjust, right? When you're like, okay, yeah, I was passive for too long, letting things pass me by. Now I'm going to be proactive and take more action, but then you just got to watch out for overdoing it on the other end of the spectrum. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, again, like I said, it definitely looks like an indicator that you're going to be taking action, being action oriented, and deciding that, okay, yeah, maybe I waited around too long for things to come my way. Now I'm going to go pursue them myself. All right. Excuse me. In the environment position, we have the Hermit. So yeah, this could just be saying that, given that this is the major arcana card for Virgo, maybe these were things that came to your awareness during Virgo season, especially given that we just had that full moon eclipse in your sign a couple days back. So I'll just be pointing to that too, saying that when those energies came through, you're able to see the situation from a different angle, and now you're like, okay, lesson learned, making note of it, and then that could be what's propelling you forward now. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Death card. Now, on the surface, you would certainly say, well, that wouldn't be a hope, but I feel like this is saying more so that you're hoping that you wouldn't repeat that cycle again, right? You're hoping that, I feel like on the one hand, you have the optimism, like, okay, yeah, I see what was happening now, what was going wrong. I feel like I fixed it, and then you're just saying, okay, hopefully I don't have to revisit that situation again. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is Taurus energy here. And yeah, really what I see with this more than anything is just more along the lines of what I was saying there I don't view this as really a big loss. I just view it more as the potential for burnout. Because if we look at the people in the card, I mean, we got the person on crutches there, right? So it could even just point to physically burning yourselves out. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to, suffer a big financial loss or anything, just that you might burn yourselves out from overexerting yourselves and then, have to miss a few days of work, right? Like, I don't think it's going to be anything major, but it at least does say to me that, yeah, kind of what I was picking up on here does seem like it could play out if you're not careful to just try to balance it a little bit. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here. So yeah, could just be saying a couple things. Just try to avoid any arguments with people if you can this month, but this could also just be pointing to a little bit of a hint of self-sabotage. Like I said, I just feel like the main thing that you would just need to watch out for is overdoing it, right? Like, yeah, it looks like there's probably some argument to be made that, yes, maybe in the past you were a bit overly passive, but like we said, you don't want to swing the pendulum too far in the opposite direction and then end up back at square one. So I feel like that's the main caution there. Trying to think if anything else comes to mind with this. Yeah, that's primarily it. And the good thing is, beneath that, we do see the Wheel of Fortune. So we talked about Jupiter being in Gemini and it's going to retrograde. So yeah, like I said, if there were opportunities you might have missed the first time around, they might come back around this month. All right, from the Four Agreements deck, we have Don't Make Assumptions. And it says Eliminate Gossip. Get everything in the frame. Okay, so it says making assumptions is a setup for suffering because usually we gossip about our assumptions. We make assumptions and believe we are right, then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong. Interesting message there, right? Makes me think of the Five of Swords energy to an extent, but yeah, I feel like this is saying, for a lot of you, I feel like this might be more of an energy that you're already leaving behind, right? Because like I said, you might have realized that, okay, yeah, maybe I was being too passive in the past and not taking action toward my goals. And now it looks like you are actually doing the action taking part, being more aggressive toward your situation. So I For a lot of you, you most likely have already gone through the cycle, and maybe, again, like we said, that could have been going back to the Mercury retrograde we had recently, and then maybe as we had that eclipse in your sign recently as well, you came to those realizations like, okay, maybe these are some ways that I've gotten in my own way in the past, learning from that and then moving forward. From the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Truth Be Told. There's the artwork, and the number is 14. Let's see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communication. The oracle's message: there is the truth, which is the essence of a thing, and then there is a truth, subjective according to the philosophy of the adherent or believer. This is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and with yourself. Nothing less than surrender to what is, peeling off the layers of denial that kept you tied to an illusion, will set you free. Be authentic and gloriously flawed, and spirit will answer with miracles. So yeah, definitely a positive message there. And yeah, like I said, it looks like this could just be as simple as you guys might have gone through a rough stretch recently, and now I feel like this is saying you've seen the reality of the situation now, and now because you've seen the reality, you're making improvements. So like I said, really the only risk is it looks like you could just burn yourselves out. That's about it. All right, and the relationship message says people tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based on your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth to be found after you communicate honestly, and see how doing so has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. So yeah, definitely another positive message there. This didn't necessarily come across as a romantic connection situation, although maybe for some of you was, right? Maybe you were just, for example, if you were overly reliant on your partner to do all the heavy lifting within the connection, right? And now maybe you're trying to be more active in that regard. But either way, hopefully that message resonated. All right, the prosperity message says, are you willing to do whatever it takes to experience the prosperous life you desire? If you want to be an artist, do you make your art a priority? If you want to be a healer, do you set time aside to learn new things to help you serve? A writer must write and a singer must sing. Being true to your calling is essential to your moving forward. There is another oracle message here too. It's time to have a look at the real, honest truth about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about prosperity, about your relationship to money, to compensation, and to meaningful work. Ask yourself, what is true for me? And you will find a key to abundance. So yeah, to me that makes me think of what we were talking about with the hermit, right? Where, like I said, for a lot of you, you're probably already on that journey and looking at those things, and for some of you might have already moved past that, and now you're just working toward your goals. But hopefully it resonated with you guys. We're up there, and we'll see you all next month. All right, bye.